Welcome back to my channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that has shaken the world of the bold and the beautiful, a storyline packed with emotion, heartbreak, unexpected strength, and ultimately, hope. What begins as a tragedy takes a dramatic turn, thanks to one father's unwavering love and determination to fight for his son's life. This is the story of Liam Spencer's near-death journey, and how a secret, once shared among a few, becomes the spark that saves a life. In the latest episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, the tension has reached new emotional heights. Liam Spencer, once at the center of love triangles and family legacies, now faces something much more terrifying: death. Diagnosed with a brain tumor, his health continues to decline rapidly. His once vibrant presence dims. The man who has been through countless betrayals, heartbreaks, and recoveries is now walking down a road with no visible return. The only thing keeping him grounded in these final days is the people he once loved and who still love him. The first to carry this unbearable burden is Steffi Forrester. Having shared years of history, romance, and family ties with Liam, Steffi is devastated when she learns about his terminal condition. Unable to keep the pain to herself, she turns to the one person she trusts the most, her mother, Taylor Hayes. In a private moment filled with emotion, Steffi breaks down as she tells Taylor everything. The diagnosis. The timeline. The acceptance that Liam is dying. Taylor listens with the patience and empathy only a mother can offer. She wraps her daughter in support, tries to offer strength, but even Taylor cannot hide her heartbreak. Steffi is not only grieving for Liam, she's grieving for the father of her child, a man who once meant the world to her. A man she thought would always be around. Taylor encourages Steffi to stay strong, and assures her that she doesn't have to carry this alone. Meanwhile, across town, Hope Logan is dealing with the same nightmare. Hope and Liam have been through so much together. They've married, divorced, reconnected, and parented together. Despite everything, there remains a deep, unshakable bond between them. When she hears about Liam's condition, Hope crumbles inside. Not ready to face the pain alone, she reaches out to her own mother. Brooke Logan. Hope tells Brooke everything. The cancer. The prognosis. The helplessness. Brooke, upon hearing this, is shattered. Liam has always been her favorite son-in-law. Among the many men who came in and out of her daughter's lives, Liam was the one she always respected, trusted, and hoped would remain. To hear that he's dying feels like losing a part of her own family. But there's one detail that strikes Brooke harder than the rest: Bill Spencer doesn't know. Bill, the powerful, wealthy, and emotionally complex father of Liam, has not been told about his son's illness. Brooke is stunned. How could no one tell him? Liam may have distanced himself from his father at times, but the bond between them has always been undeniable. Bill is not just Liam's father, he's Liam's protector, his champion, the one who has always been willing to move mountains for his son. Brooke makes a decision. She will be the one to tell Bill. With a heavy heart, Brooke arrives at Bill's mansion. She doesn't come with accusations or drama. She comes quietly, gently, knowing the storm that will follow her words. When she tells Bill the truth, that Liam has a brain tumor, and that he's dying, the reaction is immediate and heartbreaking. Bill Spencer, a man known for his iron will and steely persona, breaks. The news crashes over him like a tidal wave. He tries to stay composed, but the emotions are too raw. He cries. Not just tears, but sobs of a father who realizes he might lose his son. All his wealth, all his power, all the deals and empires he's built, none of it can save Liam. Or so it seems. But Bill is not like everyone else. He refuses to accept death as the only option. Without wasting a second, Bill finds Liam and confronts him. He doesn't come with pity. He comes with a plan. He urges Liam to keep fighting, to seek out medical alternatives, to try one last time. At first, Liam resists. He's tired. He's made peace with his fate. He doesn't want to waste what little time he has chasing false hope. But Bill refuses to give up. In one of the most powerful scenes of the season, Bill tells his son, "Even if I have to sell every company, every building, every piece of what I built, I will do it to save you. You are my son. I won't lose you without a fight." Those words crack through Liam's armor. For so long, he's felt alone in this battle. But now, with his father by his side, the flicker of hope returns. Together, they make a bold decision. They will go to Germany. There, in a hospital known for its world-class neurosurgical expertise, Liam may have a chance. Bill spares no expense. He pulls every string. He moves mountains. The best doctors in Europe are assembled. Every possible scan and test is done again. The situation is grave, but not without hope. There is one procedure. Extremely risky, cutting edge, and only performed by a handful of specialists, that might be able to save Liam's life. It's not guaranteed. But it's the only option. With his father standing beside him, Liam agrees to the surgery. The days leading up to the operation are filled with fear and uncertainty. Steffi and Hope speak to Liam by video call. Brooke sends messages of support. Even Ridge, despite his complex history with Liam, offers his best wishes. Then comes the operation. The medical team works for hours. Every moment is tense. Bill waits outside the operating room, pacing, clenching his fists, replaying every moment of Liam's life in his mind. The man who has always had control now finds himself helpless. All he can do is hope. And then, a breakthrough. The surgery is successful. The doctors emerge with cautious optimism. Liam survives the operation, and within hours, he opens his eyes. His speech is clear. His memory is intact. He's weak, but alive. Against all odds, the procedure has not only removed the tumor, but left Liam with a real chance at recovery. Word spreads quickly. Steffi and Hope burst into tears of relief. Taylor and Brooke, who had both feared the worst, embrace the miracle. And Bill, who never once gave up, stands beside his son's hospital bed and tells him, "You're going to live. You're going to be okay. I told you I'd move heaven and earth." What began as a tragedy becomes a turning point. Liam's recovery is slow, but steady. As he regains strength, he reflects on everything, the people who stood by him, the ones who didn't, and the meaning of life itself. He's no longer the same man. Facing death has changed him. He sees relationships more clearly. He values time more deeply. He understands now that tomorrow is never promised. As Liam returns to Los Angeles, a hero in the eyes of those who love him, a new chapter begins. Bill's role in saving Liam cements a new level of respect between father and son. Years of distance and disagreements melt away. They are no longer just family by blood, they are bound by a second chance. Liam expresses his gratitude not just through words, but through action. He vows to live differently. He vows to live fully. Steffi, who stood quietly through the darkest hours, finds herself drawn closer to Liam emotionally. Not romantically, but as the mother of their child, as someone who will always care for him. Hope, too, sees Liam in a new light. The man who once wavered between two women is now a survivor, a fighter, a symbol of strength. And Brooke, whose instinct to tell Bill set the miracle in motion, becomes the silent hero in this story. Her decision to speak up, to not let a father remain in the dark, changed the course of Liam's life. In the end, The Bold and the Beautiful delivers not just drama, but a lesson that love is not just about romance. It's about action. It's about being there when it counts. It's about never giving up, even when hope seems lost. Next, we will dive deep into the latest emotional roller coaster on The Bold and the Beautiful, where misunderstandings, heartbreak, and raw human vulnerability take center stage in a week filled with dramatic missteps and tear-jerking revelations. From Carter's classic eavesdropping blunder to the poignant unraveling of Hope and Liam's complicated past, this week's episodes reminded us why we're so invested in these characters' messy, beautiful lives. Let's unpack the intricate layers of each storyline, explore the hidden motivations behind their actions, and reflect on the profound themes of love, loss, and the fear of impending goodbye that permeate this beloved soap opera. Carter's eavesdropping fiasco, a misstep for the ages. Kicking things off, we find Carter Walton stumbling into a time-honored tradition among the men of Forrester Creations, listening at doors and leaping to the most disastrous conclusions. This isn't just a one-off mistake, it's practically a rite of passage for characters like Ridge Forrester and Liam Spencer, who have turned half-heard conversations into an art form of chaos over the years. Carter, usually the voice of reason and restraint, found himself peeking into a private exchange, only to miss critical context before storming off to act on incomplete information. This week, his actions spiraled into a series of misunderstandings that left fans groaning in frustration but also oddly entertained by the sheer predictability of it all. Imagine Carter, pressed against a mahogany door at Forrester Creations, his brow furrowed as he catches fragmented whispers of a heated discussion. Perhaps it was about a business deal gone awry or a personal betrayal, but in true soap fashion, Carter only hears the part that stings the most, maybe a mention of his name tied to a supposed disloyalty. Without waiting for the full story, he charges forward, confronting allies and enemies alike, his usually calm demeanor replaced by a storm of misplaced anger. This invented subplot could involve Carter accusing a close friend, like Quinn Fuller, of undermining him, only to later discover the conversation was about protecting his interests. The irony? His impulsive reaction nearly cost him a valuable relationship, echoing the mistakes of Ridge and Liam before him. It's a classic case of soap opera miscommunication, but it serves as a reminder of Carter's humanity. He's not immune to the flaws that plague even the most composed characters. Hope's heartfelt slip, secrets don't stay buried. Meanwhile, the emotional core of this week's episode centered on Hope Logan and her inability to keep a devastating secret under wraps. After solemnly promising Steffi Forrester that she would shield Liam Spencer from the knowledge that his terminal illness had been discovered, Hope crumbled almost instantly. The moment Liam stepped through the door of their shared history at the Logan estate, summoned by a visibly shaken Hope, her resolve melted like ice in the summer sun. Her eyes, brimming with unshed tears, and her trembling voice as she hinted at rebuilding their fractured family were neon signs to Liam that something was terribly wrong. Picture the scene: Hope, pacing nervously in the cozy living room adorned with framed memories of happier times, rehearsing how to keep her composure. Yet, when Liam arrives, concern etched on his face, she can't help but collapse into sobs, clinging to him as if holding on could stop time itself. Did she really think her outpouring of emotion pleased to cherish every moment together wouldn't tip Liam off? Naturally, Liam pieced it together in seconds. Steffi had let the cat out of the bag, and now Hope was grappling with the weight of his impending loss. Steffi, ever the realist, had anticipated this exact outcome, knowing Hope's heart often overrules her head. This moment wasn't just a plot device. It was a raw depiction of how grief can unravel even the strongest promises, leaving both Hope and the audience in tears. Liam's regret, a love divided yet enduring. As the truth spilled out, the floodgates of emotion opened wider, pulling us back to a time when Liam and Hope were the golden couple of the bold and the beautiful. Their romance, once a beacon of hope amidst the chaos of Forrester family drama, has been tarnished over the years by Liam's indecision, often bouncing between Hope and Steffi at the first sign of trouble. Yet, in this vulnerable moment, Liam's remorse shone through. He admitted to failing both women in different ways, loving them with a sincerity that, though flawed, was never in question. His self-reflection added a layer of depth to a character often criticized for his wavering loyalties. Let's delve into Liam's mind during this scene. As Hope's tears fall, he's transported back to their wedding day, a memory of white lace and whispered vows under a canopy of flowers, now juxtaposed against the stark reality of his diagnosis. He realizes that his choice is often driven by fear of losing either woman, left both scarred. Perhaps he recalls a specific moment, an invented memory, where he hesitated at the altar with Steffi, glancing at Hope in the crowd, torn even then. Now, facing his mortality, Liam sees that love, though imperfect, was the thread tying him to both. For Hope, this confession might explain why, even after their divorce 2 years ago following her impulsive kiss with Thomas in the romantic streets of Rome, she struggled to fully move on. Her heart, whether she admits it or not, still holds a piece reserved for Liam. Divorce and decisions, was it too soon? Speaking of that divorce, let's revisit the fallout from Rome, a turning point that reshaped Hope and Liam's future. After Hope's spontaneous kiss with Thomas, caught in the heat of the Colosseum's ancient allure, Liam walked away, wounded by what he saw as a betrayal. Hope, in a fiery mix of defiance and pain, retaliated with divorce papers, essentially saying, "If you want to end this, let's make it official." Was this decision rushed, a knee-jerk reaction to a single misstep? Or was it the inevitable conclusion of a relationship strained by years of mistrust and competing affections? With Liam's health now hanging in the balance, a storyline that keeps fans guessing whether the writers will truly take this tragic route. The question feels almost irrelevant, yet it lingers like a bittersweet aftertaste. Consider an expanded perspective. Maybe Hope, in the weeks following the Rome incident, sat alone in her office at Forrester Creations, staring at the divorce documents, her pen hovering as she wrestled with doubt. An imagined confidant, perhaps her mother Brooke, urged her to fight for Liam, but pride won out. Now, as she faces the possibility of losing him forever, those papers symbolize not just an end but a missed chance to rebuild. This week, her plea to Liam not to shut out his loved ones in his final moments carries the weight of that regret. She's not just fighting for closure, she's fighting for the right to rewrite their final chapter together. The burden of illness, a loved one's perspective. Finally, the bold and the beautiful deserves applause for tackling a common soap trope, hiding a life-threatening illness with a fresh and poignant angle. Too often, characters conceal their diagnoses to protect others, but Hope's impassioned argument flipped the narrative. She begged Liam not to rob his family and friends of the chance to support him, to grieve with him, to say a proper farewell. This perspective, rarely voiced so explicitly in daytime drama, struck a chord, highlighting the pain of being sidelined by someone's noble but misguided intentions. Envision Hope, her voice cracking as she recounts memories of her father, Deacon Sharp, who once distanced himself during a personal crisis, leaving her feeling helpless. This invented backstory adds depth to her plea. She knows the ache of being excluded, of wishing for one more conversation. Her words to Liam aren't just about his illness, they're about reclaiming agency for everyone who loves him, from his children to Steffi to herself. It's a powerful message about the communal nature of grief and healing, reminding viewers that love means sharing both joy and sorrow, even when it hurts. In conclusion, this week on The Bold and the Beautiful delivered a tapestry of misunderstandings, regrets, and raw emotion that kept us glued to our screens. From Carter's misguided eavesdropping to the aching nostalgia of Hope and Liam's shared history, each storyline wove together themes of love's complexity and the urgency of time. As we await the next twist, will Liam's fate be sealed, or is there a miracle on the horizon? We're reminded why this show continues to captivate. Stay tuned to BNB Spoilers channel for more updates, and let us know in the comments how these stories have touched your heart.